What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm glad to be here. I'm here to urge you to subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, please do subscribe, hit that notification bell, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. This show is here to entertain, inform, and educate you. I hope you're getting all of that so far. If you're a Christian watching this show, I would like to encourage you with these words. Jesus Christ is coming back soon. I believe he is. And when he comes back, he's not coming back as a preacher. He's coming back as a political leader, the political leader of the world. And therefore, I believe that we Christians need to be politically involved, contrary to what some may have you believe. Because the Bible says the government shall be upon his shoulders. This means you and I will be the political leaders of this world one day. All right, I was just here to urge you to subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side.
We want to tell the nation that HH has committed that one of the first acts he will do, given the opportunity to be president of this country, is to repeal the cybersecurity bill. That is one of the first things ever he will do. He has committed to that. Look, the freedoms of the people of this country have been invaded. We have a situation where, when you have to talk about the public broadcasters, it is not what people want to say that should be heard, it is what the state wants the people to hear. Feeding the nation on a menu of lies. So the only platform that remained for people to communicate truth was the social, media space. And they've now gone into that space to shrink it.
What's going on, guys? You're welcome to Amazing Minds. I'm your first late night show. This is the Monday show. Monday shows are the political segment of the show. Airs every Monday, 22 hours Central African time. Of course, you may not be watching this on a Monday. You may be watching it. You may be watching this days after we've aired it. Also, I think it's important for me to mention that it's the Monday show, not because it airs on Monday, but that's the name of the show, the Monday show. And therefore it airs on Monday because it's the Monday show, which also means that you might be seeing the Monday show on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday. It could air on any of those days also because of our current power situation in the country. Our lighting is quite heavy and therefore we cannot entirely rely on backup systems. Yeah, so we have the Monday show and Bible Talks. Bible Talks airs every Friday, 22 hours Central African time, and that's the spiritual segment of the show. Always tongue-twisted, a little bit tongue-tied when I first start the show. I'm here alone. Mr. Chofi is not here today. He would have loved to be here, but he has some commitments that could not permit for him to be here. But you guys are welcome. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. For those listening on audio, you're missing out a lot because there's a lot that will be beamed on the screen throughout the show. We're discussing a number of things. Interesting things have been happening in the political space in the country, and we're discussing some of those things today. To begin with, cracks emerge in opposition party alliances, and then we'll discuss Zambians being scammed again. No news there. And then we'll go on to discuss the Law Association of Zambia, LAS, to challenge cybersecurity law in court. Yeah, this was expected. Certain stakeholders, especially those who hold stake within the legal areas, or what can I say, within the legal spaces within our country, that they would oppose this, they would take it to court. This was expected. I hope they expected it. I hope they have a good defense for it. I would really have loved to hear Mr. Chofia's remarks on the cyber bill, but he's not here, so you hear my remarks. And I would like to imagine that we both have opposing views on this particular issue. At least I would like to imagine that. Yes, so cracks have emerged in opposition party alliances, particularly UKA. Very interesting turn of events. A phone call has leaked where two individuals who are being accused of being machinations of the PF faction, trying to cause discord and confusion and to break apart the UKA alliance and also undermine the chairmanship of the former president, the 6th president, Edgar Chagwa Lungu, in the midst of all his health issues. He's not currently in the country. He's seeking medical attention in South Africa presently. But before I go further, please do hear it from the horse's mouth.
So I want him to. Yes. Exactly. So what you want to do is I'm going to see. We want some statement from members of Parliament today. Then almost sports president will have the press conference to speak to the issue, to say they're excited, they're happy, and they welcome this idea, and so on and so forth.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that it has a natural reaction. You don't give the guy in South Africa an opportunity to come and say this is where we're going.
No.
When people have already spoken, and welcome, so you give to momentum. So who there was a reaction? We will try to find some clergy.
Yes. No. We can't wait for Johannesburg.
No. We can't wait for Johannesburg to come and get the narrative for us. No, let him remain by the hospital bed while the narrative is being created. But then he's coming back, it is done and dusted.
Yes, and he's even being received in a bigger way. All of us is there.
This one would have been taken care of and been removed. So you think while he's receiving him, we'll be carrying the ruling from the constitutional court.
Yes. Hostile take over.
Yeah. So I'll brief you after the meeting with Chanda.
No problem. And then maybe after that, after your briefing, then we can see in the afternoon we start engaging the provincial leaders.
Oh, fantastic.
It's unclear who was recording this. Oh, by the way, now I believe this is illegal. If the person recording this is caught, they can be taken to court. At least that's what I have understood by the new cyber law, cyber bill. Yes, it's unclear who was recording this. And as a matter of fact, you hear as we go on that was brought up as a defense. Who was recording this? Is this not AI? But yes, some plans are being concocted in the background to undermine the chairmanship of Edgar Lungu in the UKA alliance. Or is that repetitive? In UKA. And this is coupled with interesting turn of events that are happening within UKA itself. We'll get into that a bit later, but let you listen to what the spokesperson of UKA had to say, who is Mr. Sean Tembo. We were really hoping he was going to stand in his own accord, but let's not get into that now. Check it out.
The two are talking about a bigger plan to destabilize the Tonse Alliance, as well as take over the leadership of the Alliance by ousting the chairman, His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagwarungu, and they go further by mocking and ridiculing the prolonged medical absence of the 60th Republican president, who is in Johannesburg of South Africa.
I agree with him on that one. I think they were mocking his health situation, calling him Johannesburg and saying that he should just stay by the hospital bed. I think that was mockery of his health. Nevertheless, I just don't know what their plan was to begin with, because there was the court ruling on his eligibility. So I've been waiting to see what his plan would be. Unfortunately, there's this medical situation that has come up. And Mr. Sean Tembo went further.
In addition to the letters that we wrote to Honorable Raphael Nakachinda and Honorable Given Lubinda, I must also mention that we have also written to the party president of the Socialist Party, Dr. Fred Membe, and requested him to exculpate himself and his political party regarding these apparent plans to hijack the Tonse Alliance, these plans to replace our chairman, Dr. Edgar Chagwarungu, as well as destabilize the alliance and mocking the health circumstances of our chairman.
Now, the Secretary General of the Socialist Party, Mr. Musomali, brought to question the authenticity of this said video. Whether this was AI, was it just something concocted in order to point accusations at other people for trying to bring discord within the party, or this is legitimate? If so, who was actually recording this? But you don't have to hear it from me. Check it out.
Investigate the authenticity of that video. With artificial intelligence, everything is possible. You can mimic people's voices, you can put voices to people's faces. And so who is it that was recording, by the way? Where is this coming from? And is this real? So that's a process that we are investigating currently. The second issue that I think that brings about is our partners, our friends, our colleagues, when they hear that, they have our contacts. Let them contact us. Let's sit down with them and discuss this issue. We are not going to deal with it on social media.
Yeah, did I say Mr.? He's Dr. Musomali. But yeah, that was his rationale behind it. He says, we have each other's contacts. Why do they not reach out to us? Doesn't this sound familiar? Do you remember Edith Nawakwi's funeral and how the president was publicly accused of, contributing somehow because, as Savoy Mboela says, she died of stress or a broken heart. Everything we say on the show, by the way, is for entertainment purposes only. This does not constitute as political or legal or financial advice. Yeah. So that was Dr. Musumali's rationale behind it. Now, the interesting thing is that the said 60th president and chairman of the UKA seems to trust PF. He trusts it so much that he actually says PF makes Tonse strong, says Lungo as he appoints Lubinda to lead in his absence. What? Do you guys remember that the Tonse Alliance spokesperson was saying they've written to Mr. Lubinda regarding the plot to overthrow their chairman? Well, their chairman actually believes in Mr. Lubinda. He says that PF makes Tonse stronger. Remarkable. Remarkable. Oh, this is so remarkable. This is so remarkable. Who would have ever believed that Mr. Lubinda would be given the Tonse Alliance? as if we didn't expect it. Yeah, and as a result, Harry Kalaba has pulled out. Harry Kalaba and his party have pulled out of the Tonse Alliance, thanking the Tonse Alliance for allowing them to be part of such a progressive cause. But I don't think they are willing to stand by the new guy who is expected to only lead in Dr. Lungu, or is it Mr. Lungu, Dr. Lungu's absence. I wonder what will happen when Dr. Lungu is back, whether given Lubinda will just willingly give up and go back to PF. I don't know what will happen. Harry Kalaba.
We believe there can be no better time for us to reassess. As I stated at the beginning of my statement, some of our commitments that the party has had have inhibited our ability to explicitly pursue our programs as citizens first, without looking over our shoulders, to avoid being injurious or offending others. In this regard, we regret to announce that the Citizens First is effective today, disengaging from the United Kwacha Alliance. We would therefore like to take advantage of this platform, sincerely, to thank State Council Sakwiba Sikota for having accorded us the opportunity to be a part of such a progressive and dynamic team.
I wonder why those people seem so happy. It's like they were telling him all along, can we come out of this thing? Yeah, but he went on to be very cordial about it and thank Mr. Sakwiba Sikota for actually allowing them into such a progressive idea, in his words. Yeah, moving on, a Chinese national behind an online platform known as JIXW has been arrested for allegedly using a computer system to commit offenses. The gentleman in question has been arrested because he has duped Zambian people of close to 185,000 kwacha so far. There are about 36 complainants that they know of so far. This gentleman had some kind of an app that was linked to a number, a business that had to do with bracelets. I don't know exactly how they were doing it, but it looks like some kind of an investment they were investing into. The same thing that people do. They never get it, really. People don't get it. They want to get rich quickly, so they want to invest into anything. They are told, put a 2-pin, you get an 80-pin back, and they believe it somehow. What kind of mathematics is that? And how desperate could you be? Okay, I understand the desperation part, but what kind of mathematics is that? I think this should be common knowledge by now, that if someone comes up with such a scheme, they are scamming you. It's like how some people came to us telling us that if you join this network marketing, you will become rich because some Asian guy that inspires them became rich, 140 kwacha at a time. Rings a bell? Yeah. I don't know why people still believe those things. Guys, if you want to make money, establish a legitimate business. Go and register with PACRA. Pay your taxes so your money is actually traceable. That's my advice to you. Yeah, but it's quite unfortunate. His name is hard to pronounce, honestly, but he has been arrested. A statement from the police. Check it out.
Police in Lusaka have arrested a 32-year-old Chinese national identified as Pierre Aimati for running an illegal online platform and also money laundering. Brief facts of the matter are that between 10th January and the following recoveries have been made: a Lemni mobile phone, 4 iPhones, 15 SIM cards, and assorted beaded bracelets allegedly linked to the company were recovered. Further investigations indicate that the platform may have defrauded individuals of at least 184,000 kwacha, with more complaints expected to come forward. The suspect has since been charged with prohibition of use of computer or computer system for offences contrary to Section 20, 1 and 2 of Act Number 4 of Cybercrime of 2025 and obtaining money by false pretenses contrary to Section 309 of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the Laws of Zambia. He has since been released on police bond and is scheduled to appear in court soon.
We are going to move on. Nkana striker Idris Mbombo, team captain Harrison Chisala, and a colleague of theirs who's a defender, Mr. Clement, have been arrested for allegedly breaking into the referee's locker room forcing their way in, and they were reported by one gentleman. These 3 have been arrested for malicious damage to government property. This was Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Ndola. I don't know what the outcome of this will be, because I know that these cases usually attract around 2 years, 3 years in prison. So we don't know whether these guys will be arrested. These are, we're talking about the captain, we're talking about the defender, we're talking about the striker within Nkana. So our thoughts and prayers are with them. They knew what they were doing. And a former Zambia Airports Corporation Limited manager has sued the corporation because he was for wrongful dismissal, because he was fired for having cleared ECL's departure without a security check. We don't know whether this is political or this is procedural, but the gentleman in question has sued Zambia Airports Corporation because he was wrongfully fired for clearing Mr. Lungu. Yeah. So we don't know whether that's politically motivated. And we don't know what the outcome will be. We'll give you an update on that as it develops. On a sad note, with deep sorrow, I must announce the death of our Holy Father, Francis. Cardinal Kevin Farrell has stated when announcing the demise of the Pope. The Pope passed away last week, Monday, in the early hours of Monday morning, after a few health issues, I believe respiratory issues. This is quite sad. The leader of the Catholic Church, our thoughts and prayers with our Catholic brothers and sisters. We know that Pope Francis, in the later years of his life, was very instrumental in supporting the cause of Christians and came out quite clearly on particular issues that he was even accused of supporting when in fact he did not directly support. I remember him being accused of supporting gay marriages or the blessing of gay marriages. But he came out in a statement to say what he actually supported was the blessing of individuals, even though they were gay, because the blessing is for every individual, which was words from his own mouth. So he will be missed. I believe he supported the cause of Christians, especially in the later years of his life. So our thoughts and prayers go to our Catholic brothers and sisters, and we sincerely hope that you get a new Pope soon. Yeah, the Law Association of Zambia has resolved to petition the High Court to review the constitutionality of the provisions under the new cyber bill, the new Cybersecurity Act, citing threats to rights and press freedom. There's a lot about this bill that is being brought to question. Some things that I personally like about it, some things that I don't like, which I'm sure Mr. Chofe, if he was here, would highlight more. What I tend to almost like, even though it may not be a very positive thing, would be that to an extent it will give people the opportunity to think before they post, because some people are just insoucious. They just want to make you feel bad. They just want to say something bad. Some people want to take out their bitterness on other people. And this act is going to prevent that a great deal. People who just spoke without thinking, it's going to prevent that a great deal. However, I also believe so much in free speech that I would fight for what you have to say, even though I don't agree with it. So I think everyone must be free to say what they have to say, because after all, civilization was built on the backbone of free speech. Had people not been allowed to speak, would women ever have gotten the right to vote? I don't think so. Had people not been allowed to speak, would every minority group that has finally found its voice being heard in this world ever have been heard? I don't think so. People must be allowed to speak. I think civilized countries must allow people to speak. I mean, there'll always be people to say bad things. But the Law Association of Zambia has brought this issue to court in order to petition the High Court over the said Cybersecurity Act. And if you guys remember, our president, when he was in opposition, spoke against almost the same Cybersecurity Act. His exact words were, "Fellow citizens, don't be fooled by this cyber crime bill. They are hiding behind the word lawful to justify this Big Brother bill. The actual words in the bill of who can access your information says law enforcement officer. In our interpretation, police. Question is, with the way the PF are abusing the police, can we trust them not to abuse this particular clause in this bill, using the police to snoop on citizens for selfish ends? The answer is we cannot trust them. This Big Brother bill must not go through, otherwise forget about your freedoms. And this is exactly what they have implemented, because they are saying that people's communications, whether by calls, texts, emails, can now be surveyed, monitored. They will be given access into that in a lot of ambiguity. We don't know who exactly is being given how much access, for what grounds. There's a lot of ambiguity in the cyber bill. Again, everything I say on this show is for entertainment purposes only, and this does not constitute legal advice. But if our president, when in opposition, said these things, we hoped and believed that he would carry on in the same trajectory of thought. You see, the problem in Africa is that we vote for people hoping that they are leaders. We don't vote for leaders. We vote for people so that they can become leaders. So it's only in Africa where we can vote for a person who doesn't have a car and he becomes president, and vote for someone who doesn't have a house and he becomes president, so that he can now have houses when in presidency. I'm not saying that about our current situation. Of course, we know that our president in his own capacity is wealthy. Nevertheless, I think one of the problems is that we try to discover whether the person is a leader when they're already in office. And so it's a matter of, I remember the other day discussing with someone, asking, so if it came to voting for someone else, who would it be? We are just trying to see, like, what is the best alternative to get this one out, rather than knowing exactly who we should be voting for because we know the outcome. What I'm trying to say is developed countries vote for someone because they actually know what he's going to do. We here guess and hope that the person won't betray us. That's the difference. It's because we look for people to make leaders rather than voting for leaders in the first place. And I think that's a problem. In the same breath, Mr. Cornelius Mwetwa, we showed you the video in the beginning of the show, but Mr. Cornelius Mwetwa gave his remarks on what he believed HH would do once he became president over the Cybersecurity Act. Take a look.
We want to tell the nation that HH has committed that one of the first acts he will do, given the opportunity to be president of this country, is to repeal the cybersecurity bill. That is one of the first things ever he will do. He has committed to that. Look, the freedoms of the people of this country have been invaded. We have a situation where, when you have to talk about the public broadcasters, it is not what people want to say that should be heard, it is what the state wants the people to hear. Feeding the nation on a menu of lies. So the only platform that remained for people to communicate truth was the social, media space. And they've now gone into that space to shrink it.
Yeah, right. We've heard it before. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. I was here alone today, and when I'm alone, it's a quick show. Not to say that Mr. Chofia has got a lot of talk time. I know he's watching. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the show. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share. This has been an interesting one. At least for me, it has. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. And we'll leave you with a closing video for entertainment purposes only. Otherwise, see you on the next one. Goodbye.
I'm also disappointed Even the very people that we are working with by JIXW, the same ones, the same young girls, the same young men, boys, they've all been scammed. My assistants, Babu Badiana Bena, they've been scammed as well. I felt so bad because I hear everybody cells and whatnot. People are selfish at the end of the day.
Hey, like what you see? I know you do. Hit the button below to subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Ciao.